Good evening. Another protest ends in violence tonight. Kevin Duncan, nephew of councilman and political activist Malachi O'Shea Edwards, was shot and killed by police after resisting officers. We have video of Councilman Edwards apparently threatening Commissioner Claude Nelson. We are getting breaking news. It appears that rookie officer Clark Castle has been shot and killed inside his own home. We don't want to speculate, but we can be sure that eyes are beginning to turn towards Councilman Edwards.
Together, we can make change. Together, we can make this state better. Together, we can make this whole country better.
More violence makes a statement. The talk is done. I'm just saying, they take one of ours, we take one of theirs. Who has gotta be? Still on my top, still on my finish this shit, right? No. I know who he is. Todd. Not that boy. Fuck Todd. Let's go, Frank. Oh, Todd can eat a dick. Frank, no. Get in the car. Let's go.
Now we have another name. And to y'all, it's just another nigga dead. Right now, you have a riot going on. The whole city is in pain. Because once again, the cops failed to protect us like they said they would. My community can't keep protecting itself from the same people who are supposed to be protecting us. They kill us with no regard. This is what you get. You get riots and burning buildings. You get people in pain, full of anger.
And welcome back to How You Living on Edge Radio Network. So today we have extraordinaire writer, producer, creator, director Eric Hunter.
Yay!
Hey!
Welcome to the show.
Thank you for
So
having
we
me.
just saw a preview of O'Shea. So one, what is O'Shea about, and where'd you get the name from?
Definitely. So start off with the name. The name I really got from Ice Cube. I know it's kind of blatant, but I thought I was thinking of a name of somebody who I grew up looking at and so forth, and I thought of him. He was a strong person within my childhood, just the music he made, what he stood for, and just telling the truth, reality raps, all of that. So I took that name and I ran with it, right?
Right.
And then I came up with this show. This show was birthed out of tragedy, and I put everything into the show from that tragedy. So with this, I was wanting to be councilman. So I made this character a councilman.
You wanted to be a councilman?
Yeah.
That's good to know. Okay, okay.
I was in Aurora, Colorado,
Uh-huh.
and my goal was to be a councilman. And when I didn't go that route, I said, well, let me put everything that I wanted, all my ideas, thoughts, so forth, everything else into this character
Love it.
and let it flow throughout that character. And then you can affect change on the world that way.
Absolutely.
Nice.
Absolutely. We
Nice.
always so a little background of you
Mhm.
for you. You're from Houston originally.
I was born in Houston.
Okay.
I lived in Houston until I was 6 or 7. Well,
Oh.
until 7.
Okay.
Reason why I moved. Me and my cousin were playing cops and robbers in the backyard, and he had a pellet BB gun, and he shot me in the head. And when he shot me in the head, the bullet went in, and then it went over, and it lodged here. So they raced me to the hospital, did all this stuff, and they said, well, if we pull the bullet out, then it'll kill him.
Whoa.
So they couldn't pull the bullet out; they had to leave it there. So you see here, I
How
have this
old?
spot.
How
7?
old were you?
I was 7.
Hey.
I was 7.
Oh,
So
man.
when that happened, that brought my family together. They prayed for me, everything like that. I made it through. The bullet's still there, mended with my skull. But from there, I moved to Aurora, Colorado, and that's where I grew up and spent most of my formative years figuring out who I am.
You went to school there as well, right?
Yes.
Okay. So, how's your cousin? How did he handle
He's
that?
good. He went to the Army.
Did he feel? Oh wow, he's like,
was
I'm
like-
good at
You're like,
shooting.
look, I can aim. I can aim.
I have trigger happy finger anyway.
Well,
So,
I love him.
So
but
how
you
was
guys
it-
are good.
Yeah,
You
we're
guys are
good.
good.
And how
Good.
was it growing there? Growing up there?
In Aurora, it was great. Colorado, you get all four seasons.
Okay.
It's a nice place. There are black people there.
I was going to ask, how's the diversity there?
Right.
Is there some diversity?
There's a lot of diversity in Aurora, Colorado.
That's
in
good
Colorado,
to know.
period.
That's good to know.
I mean, you get a lot of different people there. People are pretty nice generally.
Uh-huh.
You have your ghettos, you have your rich areas, you have all that.
Ooh.
But it's just a good mixture.
Okay.
So how was that shift from being in this good area and mixture of everything bring you to a drama of O'Shea? What was that transition about?
So the whole thing came from, like I had mentioned earlier, tragedy, right?
Right.
So in 2012, I went to a movie. I went to see The Dark Knight, and I was involved in a massacre. A man by the name of James Holmes came in and he shot up the movie theater that I was at. So we're in one movie theater. This movie theater here is one that he shot up.
And the famous Aurora Massacre, that's
Right.
what they call it,
The
basically,
Aurora Massacre.
right? And
Bullets came through the wall, so forth and so on. With me sitting in that theater, we just thought it was firecrackers, just them trying to make it special.
Right.
Oh.
Smoke started coming into our movie theater. From
Whoa.
there,
So how did you personally handle this?
well, from there, what I did was, once I realized something was off, I told the two people I was with, I'm gonna go and see what's going on.
Okay.
Mhm.
When I got up, I started walking down the stairs. I seen blood on the floor. I seen
Oh.
people kind of leaning out their seats or getting hit. So I yelled up to my friends. I said, "There's somebody shooting here. We got to get out of here."
Ah.
So me, I guess not thinking but
Right.
thinking, I said, "Let me go down and try to find a way out." I went down. I went across the screen, went to the emergency exit, opened
Right.
the door. There was two young white girls there. There was
Okay.
one shot in the mouth, one shot in the shoulder.
Oh,
man.
And I froze a second.
Right.
And then the door started closing. I opened the door again. She said, please help us, bring us in.
Right.
Somebody's shooting in our theater." So I brought them in, and as I brought them in, the shooter was coming around.
Whoa.
SWAT outfit, guns, so forth and so on. And I shut the door on him, hold it for like 3 seconds. But I'm thinking, I don't want to get shot.
Right, because he was shot through the door.
Right, that's what I was thinking.
Right.
So I said, let me let it go. Let me go back in. I go in to check on the young girls. There's an off-duty paramedic there. He's saying, hey, would you like me to help them? I'm off-duty paramedic.
Right.
I said, yes, please.
course, yeah.
I back up. I call my wife at the time.
Mhm.
She didn't answer. She called right back. We said our sorries and last goodbyes because
Right.
I didn't know what was going on.
Right.
Right.
You might not. Right.
I
right.
might not make it out.
Absolutely.
So from there, I get off the phone with her. I go over by the wall to see, is this really real? Yeah, it's real. There's bullets in the wall.
Mhm.
So from there, I tell the people, hey, we need to find a fire alarm. We need to let the firefighters know we're here. Somebody know we're here.
Right.
So we're looking for the fire alarm. We find the fire alarm behind the two girls I
Oh,
brought in.
good.
And I said, let's call the cops. We call the cops. Then from there, these off-duty cops come in. I didn't know they were off-duty cops. They're just
Right.
saying, I need everybody to get out.
Right.
Me just being the person I am, I said, I don't think anybody should leave from here until we see a badge, gun, SWAT,
Right.
something. I don't
Right.
want to die today. I don't
Right.
think that they do either. So, they scoffed at me and went back out. Came back in, guns, put your hands up, and move out. So moved out. Moving out, the things I saw, the blood, the bodies, the screams, the alarms, all of that never went away. But the thing that I learned that night was a couple things. I learned I didn't want to die. I loved helping people, and that I want to make a change in this world, a difference. A couple other things I learned was, you know, at the time, being a black man in America, I was like, okay, well, cops are this way, cops are that way. After cops, basically, that's how you know we kind of grow up. That night, my perception on cops changed because the paramedics, the real paramedics, like in full force in ambulances, they couldn't get through the parking lot. It was too crowded, too many people, too many cars. So the cops used their cop cars, went in, grabbed people one by one, put them in the back of the cop car, and took them. And that showed me not all cops are bad. It's not all cops. So from that tragedy, me wanting to be a councilman before that, I said, no councilman, this kind of messed me up. And I said, let me put all these ideas and everything into O'Shea. And that's how I connected those two. It was birthed out of tragedy.
So even after that tragic situation, are you still having those nightmares? And you know, how did you work yourself through that tragedy?
A couple things. You know, for that, it took me probably 5 years, 5 or 6 years to really work through the PTSD of it. I didn't really go and see anybody because, you know, again, in our community, it's like you don't go see somebody, you go to church.
You go to church. We talked about that last week. That's right. You go see the pastor.
That's it. And if you don't see the pastor, talk to God.
Exactly. That's right.
You know, so that was my thing. You know, I was abiding by those rules that we were that was set up in our community. So I just went through, and at the time I worked for a hospital. I was in ER radiology wing, and I couldn't work in the hospital industry anymore because every time an alarm went off, it took me back there. I would start freaking out. The alarms, it would trigger me, and I had to go and sit in my administrative manager. I had to sit in her office and wait for it to go by. And we had people coming in, you know, with their mouth slit open, eyes, and all that. I couldn't do it. So imagine having this good paying job and then losing it because of the tragedy. Right.
You really probably could have got disability if you were that kind of person.
Right, but I'm not.
So did you ever get counseling or
no? There are things that I set up in my head. Like a week after, I said I'm going back to the movie theaters. This is something
you have to be your own therapist at this point.
I had to.
Right.
For one, I didn't have much money. For two, I didn't want to be a victim. That was my thing. I didn't want to be a victim, and I felt like if I succumbed to all these different potential victim mentality, you know, perceptions that would be put on me, I would lose. So I said, I'm going back to the movies. I'm going to see the movie. I went back and seen the movie, even though it was hard. After that, I said, okay, I need to figure this out. I need to figure out what works for me. It took a lot of me. I lost a lot of confidence in myself. I lost a lot of belief in myself. My relationship, my marriage at the time was very rocky. A lot of these different things, and I had to really get a notepad and write a lot of things out by myself. Affirmations: you are this, you are that, you're not this. And it took 5 years. So it took 5 years.
How did you get into this industry? That's a heck of a way to.
Well, you know, but that's an introduction that we can talk about that on our break. So because that's a lot to unplug, and that's a lot of information, right?
Multifaceted man.
So
we got here.
Join us as when we come back and talk to Mr. Eric Hunter, and he'll tell us how he did that shift from all that tragedy into becoming a creative force that has that's going to really shift and change the world. You don't have to be a councilman. You can find your niche to change the world.
And entertain at the
and
same
entertain.
time.
What I'm gonna do with her.
I'm sorry.
So join us. We'll take a little short break and come back and join us so we can find out more about O'Shea.
Be right back.
Are you living just to get by? Are you looking for some blue sky? How you living? How you living? Are you living just to get by? Are you looking for some blue sky?
And welcome back to How You Living with director, creator, writer, producer extraordinaire Eric Hunter. And so we also allow people to ask us questions through Facebook. And so because we are on Facebook Live, so guys, send us questions so that we can ask Mr. Hunter.
This is your chance.
This is your chance.
You want an audition? This is your chance to reach out to him directly.
But we won't ask unless you send the question.
All the good actors only, please. No fakes. Okay, one question we have from I'm sorry. He wants to know if you've done any acting prior to this. Have you done acting yourself?
Yeah, I actually started off in the industry by being an actor.
Oh.
Back when I had more hair.
Okay.
And it's true. I started off as
Had
an
to go
actor.
fro.
You know what? I don't know that much. But Antron would get on me as a business partner. He'd have a lot of jokes.
Okay.
But no, I started off as an actor. And, you know, I just got the bug. I was naturally good with being able to improvise.
Okay.
So I would go to these art schools and I would just be talent.
Nice.
I would be talent and I would just go in there so they could just set up the cameras, do what they need to do. Then I went on from there and I did different commercials.
Oh.
Like I did a veterans commercial for the veterans coming home on PTSD,
Nice.
and so forth and so on. So I got into that world and then I transitioned into the fact that I'm creative. I love to write. I want to direct. I want to produce. I want to make something.
Wow.
And that's how I transitioned into
Very
that.
cool. We got
Right.
one more question before because it's related to Aurora. Then
Yeah,
we're
so
gonna move on.
Andrew from Facebook asked, are you doing anything about your movie experience with Aurora? Are you creating anything behind that?
I am. I'm writing a book
Good
at the moment.
question.
I'm starting the process of writing a book based on my events. So it's not really on the actual shooting, but it's on my life that day, that week leading up to the shooting, then covering the shooting, putting
Nice.
you in the shoes of a survivor or
Right.
somebody who went through that. And then I'm making a movie. The script is already done. So right now we're approaching investors for that.
Nice.
So with that, the goal is every time there's a shooting, we grieve and we mourn, and then we say, next,
Yeah.
and we move on. No,
Right.
something has to happen.
That's right.
Like
'Cause
when
you'll
that happened,
forget.
the
Because they
stuff,
always say, I don't want to be a hashtag. I don't want my loved one to be a hashtag.
right?
Do something about it.
The things that I saw, like I saw a little girl that I know after research, writing the movie, she was alive in the theater,
Uh-huh.
and then on the way out, them trying to save her, she died. She was
Oh.
shot.
Mm-mm.
She was shot and died. Her mom was shot and she lost a baby, shot in the stomach,
Oh,
lost her
good
baby. Her
Lord.
dad was shot and was paralyzed. That's just one story.
Right.
You understand what
right,
I'm saying?
Right.
Right.
So with me, I had survivor's grief, and I thought I should die. I thought I shouldn't be here because they got to live, because they died and I got to live. So I felt horrible for that for a long time.
Right.
And it took a while to get over that. So back home, you know,
Because you have that survivor's remorse
That's
or
right.
whatever it's called.
But then you got to
Yeah.
think about the duality of the fact
Yeah.
that in my community back home in Aurora, they think I'm a hero. A
Right.
co-hero is what they call me.
Is that why that? I was trying to
Mhm.
understand how.
So what
I
is
love
it? What is it?
Yeah.
ACO Hero?
Oh, Aurora, Colorado. That's what ACO
That's
stands
what
for.
it
And so
stands
they did that for a lot of the survivors, or
They did that for a lot of different people who they felt did something.
Nice.
Okay.
And then they hold the survivors and they wrap their arms around them. We
I
do.
love
We're a
it.
community. And then the different people like me that felt like, well, he's a hero. With me, I just felt like I was doing something that I would want to be done for my kids.
right?
You know, so I've watched this young lady from afar. I'm the one who was shot, had to have reconstructive surgery.
Yeah.
And I've seen her, you know, progress. She got better. She got married. All this stuff. So I'm just happy that happened.
Yeah.
But I'm no hero. I'm just a person who did what was supposed to be done.
And see, that's
now-
spoken like a true hero.
So how did the shift from that go into you creating?
Definitely. So
Yeah.
I was always a creator. That was always in my mind. So I went from there to, okay, I want to make a change in this world. So I had all these different dreams and goals. It wasn't just film. So first I had this idea of a innovation, making a product that can basically change the retail industry. So I came up with this technology where you can use the technology within stores and eliminate employees and cashiers, and you can buy it just from these smart units and keep the food hot, cold, and room temperature, eliminating shrinkage and so forth and so on. So that was first. Then after that, I said, I want to do movies. So I said, okay, let me do movies. And I started writing. I sucked doing that. And then from there, I got better and better. So I became a one-man band. I said, let me learn how to write, produce, direct, edit, score, everything. And that's what I did. Came here, I met up with a lot of different great people. And then it led me to my business partner, which is Antron Harris.
Well, let me ask you something, just to interrupt real quick. So with you learning how to write, produce, was this something that you taught yourself, or did you go through some kind of
Do you know film
program
school?
No.
or no film
Wow.
school?
No film school. I just, go ahead.
Can you give us a synopsis about this, O'Shea? Give us what's it about, basically?
Definitely. I'll give you the whole rundown. So
Great.
O'Shea is basically about a man who saw his father killed and shot in front of him by a corrupt cop at the age of 13.
Okay.
From there, he grew up and he went through a lot of different things, ups and downs. And then he said, I wanted to make a change in this world. And so he became the councilman within his community. From there, he said, I want to bring justice to what happened to my father. Nobody else knows the secret he has. The fact that council or that corrupt cop killed his father. That corrupt cop became the governor of Texas. So
See,
now,
I didn't
But
have that. I didn't realize that. I thought the councilman was crooked.
It's
No,
all corrupt.
he was trying to save he was trying to avenge his father.
exactly.
Okay,
Wow.
so then
Well,
that,
so what's his name? His name is O'Shea.
O'Shea is-
O'Shea.
He's
So
the protagonist.
Malachi O'Shea.
Malachi
Edwards.
O'Shea
Yes,
Edwards,
He's the good
okay.
guy. Max Hildart is the bad guy, and Max Hildart is a leader and founder of a group called the Red State Militia. And that's basically like
Boy,
this
that
white
sounds
national.
real.
Yeah. So they're basically trying to employ, put their whole ideology upon the world. They feel they should save the world and the community by using their ideology, and they want to put these different chips in the back of people's necks.
Oh my
like
goodness.
Neuralink from Elon Musk.
That's right up my alley.
Yeah. So it's that kind of thing. It's real exciting. It's real
So
exciting.
it's a drama.
It's a drama. It's a political drama.
Okay,
A
no
lot of action
sci-fi.
in there. No, well, there's. I'll put it to you like this: when O'Shea dreams, the sci-fi comes out.
Wow.
So he has these different dreams and visions.
You
and stuff,
can't
and
be
sci-fi
an
comes out.
O'Shea and not have some kind of
No.
Right.
you
sorry,
strike me
but
as the
this
type
is
who might have a little sci-fi in you.
Yeah.
I'm a little
That's pretty
versatile.
good. Would you do comedy at some point? I know
Yes.
it's hard to do comedy.
No, I love comedy.
Really?
I got this other show called Broke Ghost Hunters, and it's basically
The Broke Ghost Hunters.
the Broke Ghost Hunters.
Okay.
Yeah,
all
they
right.
use.
I can already see what they look like.
They broke,
Okay.
and then they use their phones and they use
Oh my
vacuum
God.
cleaners to get the ghosts. They have
Is
their
that
phones.
out? Is it somewhere where we can see
There's
it?
a first episode out. The
we gotta
actually the
check that
star,
one out.
one of the stars of the show, he actually passed on. He was in a car
Oh,
accident.
really?
So the whole thing is that, and that guy was actually the first O'Shea as
I'm
well.
very sorry to hear
So
that.
you have a production company,
Yes.
and so how many projects do you have in the works other than the O'Shea and the Broke Ghost Hunters?
No, you good. You good. Okay, so with that company, it's called H&H Studios, Hunter and Harris. Me and my partner Antron Harris, we're the owners of that company. We right now have O'Shea, which you know about. We have Broke Ghost Hunters, which is the comedy. But from O'Shea, I created a universe. So I did what Marvel does, right?
Right.
I created a universe, and there's 6 shows that are spinning off from that, which we already dropped the teasers for all of them
Oh
at the
my
premiere.
goodness.
So you have
Nice.
teasers for all
You're
6
busy.
shows plus O'Shea. Yes. Now these spin-offs, you have one that's following the Gorillas, which is all by any means necessary.
Okay.
You have Flashpoint Hospital, which is taking a look at the racism within the medical industry.
Oh, that
and
I
how-
just read a story about that this
It's real.
morning. It's very
It's
real.
real.
And it's beyond
so-
America.
And so how
Exactly.
many spinoffs do you have from O'Shea?
we have 6 spin-offs.
Okay.
Wow.
Now on top of that, we have 712, which is the one about the shooting. Then we have What Do You Do, which is a like speed type of like Speed. The movie is like
Right.
a show based off
How
of
will
something
you
like that.
handle something
Exactly,
like that?
exactly.
Wow.
So it's just we're looking to really grow. I'll put it to you like this: instead of trying to go to Hollywood, we want to make Hollywood come to us.
Nice.
You know, we're like Tyler Perry said. Stop trying to get a chair at the table. Make your own table, and that's what we've done. We made
That's
our own
beautiful.
table.
So help me to understand, because I'm not in that industry at all.
Definitely.
So you create the show,
Mhm.
you go film, and then you try to shop it to networks to put it on their platform. Is that
Right.
how it works?
So if you're in film, you're gonna get a lot of jewels today.
Right.
A lot of
Right.
stuff that people don't know if you're just
Right.
trying to make films.
Absolutely.
A lot of times people they make a film and they say, "Oh, I hope we get picked up."
Right.
But there's a science to it, and I didn't know this until we went through everything with O'Shea. You basically what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to come up with whatever you want, right? Whatever you want to make the show about.
Mhm.
Then after that, you need to make something called a lookbook. With that lookbook, that's going to show everything within that show, what it's going to be like, the tone, so forth and so on. You want to make your lookbook. After you make the lookbook, you want to make if it's a show, you want to make a TV Bible. And TV Bible, you cover summary for all 5 seasons, or for all 5 seasons. Then you want to talk about every character, who all you want, how it's going to go from top to bottom, what to refer back to, what the colors mean, and everything.
So that they have the entire vision.
The entire vision.
they
And
can
even
plan
how
accordingly.
Exactly.
Yeah.
even how the character is going to develop, you put it in
Right.
that Bible.
Because I always
Exactly.
wondered, for instance, like Tyler, you might get, he has maybe 15 episodes.
Right.
I'm like, did they know on the 3rd episode what was going to transpire on 15?
But you know what's funny
That's good
about
to
that?
know. See,
Knowing
that's
that
good to know.
knowing that you guys have that Bible, because sometimes you go, why did they go left? But they
Right.
had planned
But
to go
it was
left from the
already-
beginning.
From before you shot one episode.
So you're
You
picked
know.
up by Apple TV.
So right now we're going to be on Apple, we're going to be on Amazon, and we're going to be on Segi TV.
Really?
But-
you mean Amazon
but-
Prime?
Yes, but this is the thing.
But
though. This is what we're looking to do because we're in talks right now with a couple different investors.
Okay.
We're trying to get on HBO and get that locked in. That's the goal.
Wow.
the
Yes,
goal.
that's it. Because that's how, as we know, Issa Rae, she started out on YouTube,
Exactly.
and now she's all kinds of rich.
Look,
you know?
I'll tell you like this: when me and Antron started this off, it was just me and him. We had no money and we had a phone. And a lot of what you've seen in that preview, we did everything on the phone.
That
I
is
did
Apple phone, huh?
the
amazing.
scoring, the filming,
Wow.
the editing on the phone.
So did you film everything in Houston?
We filmed 90% of it in Houston.
Okay.
50% of it was filmed on the phone. The other 50% was Chris Osby, which is an amazing DP. We shot some in Huntsville. We shot some in Port Lavaca.
Okay.
And the city of Port Lavaca really helped. The city of Huntsville really helped. And then here we just guerrilla filmed it. Now we have Tyrone Dixon on board, who created Roll Bounce. He worked on Hustle and Flow. He's our coach.
Oh, wow.
We go out there and we knock it out. Yeah.
Well, you know, we're about to go down another rabbit hole, so let's take a little break, bring down the temperature a little bit. Exactly. And so when we come back, we're going to get more of Mr. Hunter's information and find out even more how to watch his awesome shows and see if someone is interested, one, at being an investor. Maybe you want to get in contact. Hello.
And two,
and then,
again, auditions.
Hello. So we're going to take a little short break, and when we come back, we're going to get all that information for you. Join us.
Are you living just to get by? Are you looking for some blue sky? How you living? How you living? Are you living just to get by? Are you looking for some blue sky?
The Natural Nation Network is really about taking control of your health physically, spiritually, emotionally, even intellectually, because there's so much out there in misinformation. There's a lot of people now that are suffering from all sorts of diseases that they really wouldn't have to suffer for if they had better information. And that's what we're here to do. Provide information that can save lives.
The mind and the body are totally connected.
Health can be really serious, and you know, sometimes we just have to lighten it up a little bit while we're still providing substantive information.
And you know, my sort of mantra on the salsa dance floor is kind of similar. You know, I tell somebody, if you make a mistake twice, it becomes a move. Okay.
Tune into Natural Nation every Tuesday at 11 a.m.
And welcome back to How You Living. So we just have so many questions for Mr. Hunter that we're going to have a little speed round. So Robin's going to ask questions, and we're going to see how quick we can go with some quick questions.
Okay, I'll make them
go.
How did you find your actors?
I went through Antron Harris, my producer. He had a lot of people already in the theater industry, so they came on through.
Is he the star?
He's the star.
He's the star. He is O'Shea. Okay.
He's the force.
How are you doing auditions? Are you still doing auditions for upcoming projects?
We are going to be doing auditions in the next couple of months going forward. We always need new people, so definitely reach out to us. Eric Hunt Dog on Instagram and O'Shea Word to Bullets on Facebook.
Okay, last question from the speed round. Did COVID have any impact on how you guys produced your?
I could do a whole episode on that. Yes.
Okay.
There's all kind of precautions.
Because how you act with the mask on?
We had to do mask on, mask off, mask on, mask off. It was in there. There's a lot of places we couldn't fit. It was just a lot.
Okay, and that was a question from an audience member.
Got you.
Good question.
Okay, so woo, that was a quick little speed round.
Thank you.
Well, thank you.
She accommodated me. I appreciate that.
Mr. Hunter, Mr. Eric Hunter.
Yes.
What was your contact one more time for people to get in contact with you?
Definitely. So on Instagram, it's Eric Hunt Dog. That's my Instagram link or my Instagram tag. And then on Facebook, it's Eric Hunter. Just look me up that way. Email is edhwow7@gmail.com.
So all our guests, we asked them to drop a little nugget of knowledge.
Okay.
So now you can drop A little
I
nugget
can't believe it's
of
so
knowledge.
late already.
What you got for us?
I got you. For me, I would say no matter what your dream is, go for it. If you fall, you fail. Fall forward, fail fast, because you're gonna fail at some point. It's okay. It's okay to fail, but it's okay to fail and keep going. You cry to keep going. You never quit. It doesn't matter what you lose. You never give up. You never stop. I lost so much. I lost my marriage that I had. My kids had to move out of state, but we kept going. We had tragedy, Harvey. We had COVID. We had so much going. We kept going. I don't quit in life. I got shot in the head. I almost died in the movie theater. I flipped over on the side of a mountain 4 times. Everything that you could think of that could happen to a person happened to me, and I'm still here. And right now we have O'Shea. We have 712 that's going to be coming out. We're doing a book. We have Dolo Go, which is a very innovative technology that we're bringing to the front. I have a streaming company called ZME, which is basically going to mend Netflix and Zoom together and make it a full thing. We have a lot going on, but it's all because I didn't quit. And I built a great team. On O'Shea, we have over 100 people on that team already.
Nice.
So 102.
102. They're here now.
That's right. I told you we're gonna do what we can to promote you. Absolutely.
So it's like I'm still here.
Now, is it too late? We have one more question.
No, it's our time. It's time to go. It's a done question. So that tells you that we're gonna have to have you
bring
back.
I'm
you know,
I love
so
it.
we're gonna put you in. So we're gonna have him back, and he's gonna tell us more about his shows, and maybe you could bring your partner at that time also.
Is there a schedule right now, or is it just on demand?
It's going to be on demand. We're gonna make a big thing about releasing it, and you guys will get all the information very soon.
Oh, nice. So then you'll be back and come in.
Yeah.
Sounds like a great time.
Yeah, y'all have me.
We got to. And we will definitely be bringing Intron back.
Yes.
If he's interested, we'd love to
he'll
bring
love
him on.
Exactly.
Yeah. He's just called.
Woo! You're talking about a power hour.
Time flies when you're having a superstar.
I know, right?
Shoot.
Superstar.
Well, thank you. Thank you for keeping me, reining me in.
I know, you know.
That's
that yin and yang, that yin and yang.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you guys for
you.
joining us with How You Living Radio on Monday.
Yep, and we will see you guys next Monday if the good Lord's willing. So, in the meantime, we got to always ask our people,
How you living?
Good job.